Let's now talk about another TypeScript feature related to classes, and I'm referring to access modifiers. Let's start with the problem. The problem, for example, is that once the class is initialized and we have a method to print the budget, downstairs we have all the access maybe to the budget. And if I'm not careful, I can set the budget to a different value, like this, and everything should be set up. Usually this is considered yet again not such a good practice, and as a feature provided by TypeScript we have some access modifiers. For example, we can set the budget. If we think that it is a sensitive field, we can make it private. And now nothing outside the class project, the class definition, can invoke it. So inside the class definition, from line 3 to line 23, we have access to the budget, but downstairs we will get a compilation error because it will tell us that yes, this field is private. Well, one way to get around this, I've seen some people do this, but you didn't saw this at me, is to first of all wrap the object into parentheses and then cast it as any, and then you won't have any problem because we will disable the type checking, but this is something you don't know from me, sorry. The solution to this would be to create an accessor function, for example. So if we want to change the budget later, we can do this, or we can do it through a public method. So maybe I can say right here set budget, and I can give right here new budget of type number, and inside this method I can say that this budget is new budget, like this. And this way we can make this a lot more clearer with the method set budget. And now I want to make sure that I want to update the budget with a specific value. This is the point of let's say access modifiers. And access modifiers, we can add them to the fields, we can even add them to the constructor. So maybe I can have a private constructor. This is not so popular as a use case. Sometimes when we don't want classes to be instantiated, we make the constructor private, but these are very isolated use cases. But a very common use case of access modifiers is the use of private methods. And why would we make private methods? As a good practice, again, it's not a big rule, but a good practice says that a class should have one or a few public methods, ideally only one. You know, to keep things simple and organized, a class should have one public method. This is not the case very many times, but this happens, and it can have many private methods. And what we can do with private methods, we can organize the code. Once we have a written implementation of a complicated function, for example, maybe I can say right here calculate yearly budget, and this function, let's say that first needs to get inflation index, you know, do calculations, you know, get other information, like this, and in the end it can return budget. In order to make the code more readable and more clear, we can have a one big with 100 lines piece of code, a big function, or we can organize it into private methods. And I can have a function called private and then get inflation index, and it will do its job right here. I can have a function to, I don't know, like this, and I can call these functions inside the big function right here. And then when I will invoke the functions on a project object, I will only have a reference to our calculate yearly budget. So it will be much more easier for me, or much more unlikely for me, to call something that I wasn't supposed to call. This is the logic behind private methods. So now that I have the private methods, I can call them downstairs. So here I can say this get inflation index, and I'm getting the inflation index right here. Maybe I can get right here this get info. I can get them right here, and this way I'm organizing my code using private methods.